What's up, review crew? I am the Review Man. Welcome back to the Review Cave. And today I am here to review a movie that I've been wanting to see for a while. I was a fan of the original movie, but today I'm reviewing its sequel, Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. Now this movie is about four people. These four people are named Spencer, who's a bit of a nerdy gamer. Matt is Bethany, who's a bit of a popular person, doing all this crap on Instagram and all this stuff. Let's see, we got Anthony Fridge Johnson. He's a bit of a football player who was best friends with Spencer from 7th grade, and best friends with Spencer since 7th grade. And we have, Martha. She's a bit of a social person who's trying to just basically find herself because she's done fitting with popular people. She likes Spencer, and Spencer likes her back, but they don't know it yet. And then they all get detention because they don't want Anthony and Spencer. They all got detention. Oh wait, hang on. Let's go back a little bit. Let's go back to 1996 to the start of the movie. This guy named Alex receives a board game, and the board game is Jumanji. And this is about the time that the whole PlayStation era in 1996. This is about the time the whole PlayStation era started. And he's like, nobody plays board games anymore. And Jumanji, he puts Jumanji on the shelf, and the Jumanji board game is transferred himself into like a cartridge video game. And so what he does is he wakes up, he puts it in, and then he gets sucked into the video game. Fast forward 26 years later to 1996. No, 2016. Everybody's texting, everybody's having a good time. And these four kids, Bethany, Spencer, Martha, and Fridge, or Anthony. His nickname is Fridge because he's a football player. They all get stuck in detention together. Anthony and Spencer, they both get detention because Anthony was being accused of Fridge. He was being accused of cheating off Spencer's paper. And Martha gets detention because she doesn't want to compete in gym class. And Bethany gets detention because she's FaceTiming and Snapchatting and all this other stuff in class. And then they all get detention. And then what they're doing is they're cleaning out all this stuff for the computer room. And their detention is they got to basically clean out this room for computer class, for this computer class at the school building. Wow. And this is the most funniest thing. They got to remove like basically all the staples from all these magazines so they can fit in the shredder. Yeah. It's 2016. I think you can find a different punishment from that. And so what they do is they one of them finds a video game. Spencer finds a video game. And it's Jumanji. And then what they do is they hook it up to this. Fridge finds the video game, and what they do is they hook it up to this old TV, and and then they find their different players. Let's see. Spencer, he becomes Dr. Smolder Bravestone, an archaeologist. Let's see. Bethany becomes Professor Shelley Osborne, a cartographer, cryptographer, archaeologist, and paleontologist. And Fridges becomes this guy named Franklin Mouse Finbar, who is a zoologist. And Martha's avatar becomes a pretty much a martial artist, a kick-ass martial artist, breakdancer, breakdance fighting, that kind of thing. athletic, beautiful, and then they all get let's see. Then they all get sucked into the game. Let's see. They all get sucked into the video game, and they're trying to find their way out of Jumanji. And who do they get told their mission by? None other than this guy named Nigel, who was played by, who is he played by? I forgot what the dude's name was. Let's see. Anyway, Nigel was the narrator of the whole game, and he basically tells them that this guy basically get the jewel back from this dude named Van Pelt, and Van Pelt is this evil. The guy protect this jewel from this dude named Van Pelt. And if you recall from the original movie, the original Jumanji, Van Pelt was the guy that was trying to chase after Robin Williams' character, Alan Parrish. And so yeah, they got to basically get from right here to way over there to try to get the jewel back. And first they got to go to this covered bazaar, which is like this little marketplace. But first they figure out that their differences and weaknesses. Like Martha's character, her weakness is venom. Her strength is breakdance fighting, breakdancing, martial arts, and everything else. Franklin's character, Bridges' character is Franklin. He's pretty much like Dr. Smolder's sidekick, basically. And he's basically like their sidekick, and his weakness is strength and speed. And he's like, how is strength and speed my weakness? That's not even funny. But how is strength and speed my weakness? And let's see. Ruby Roundhouse is hers weakness is venom. Jack Black's character in this movie is Professor Sheldon Shelley, who Bethany turns into. And this character had some funny parts in the entire movie. Basically, there's a few scenes in the movie where they got to get around some things, and Jack Black is basically acting like a 14-year-old girl in this movie. Let's see, is she 14 or 16? Let's see, is she 14 or 16? Anyway, Jack Black is basically acting like a 14-year-old or 16-year-old girl. What teenage girl? Let's just put it like that. Let's put teenage girl. And he's basically teaching Bethany, Martha's character, how to just look good, because her Martha in the real world is this awkward teenage girl who's not really exactly sure how to express her feelings. And all through the game, Jack Black is helping her to figure out like how to talk to girls, how to portray her feelings, and basically everything that they're trying to express in the outside world is coming true in Jumanji. But the teenagers are actually grown people. So anyway, going through the game, they try to they make it to the bazaar, and then they Spencer's character is like fighting like all these people, and basically fighting Van Pelt's men. And Van Pelt, he's tracking them all throughout the entire movie. He's basically tracking them throughout the entire movie. And so the movie keeps on going on. They make it to the bazaar. They get into a Dupanga snake. And they get into a Dupanga snake and get their next clue. And this dude, he comes whenever Dr. Braveheart. Anyway, that might be my next review. But anyway, on with the story. He's fighting all these guys in this in the covered bazaar, and then they get rescued by none other than let's see. none other than Jefferson Seaplane McDonough. But that's the dude that disappeared like 20 years ago, and they said they found this piece of paper that says, when you see the elephant start climbing, you have found your next piece. And it turns out it wasn't the piece of a map they were looking for. They were actually looking for Jefferson Seaplane, because he's been trapped in the game for about 20 years. And then they're like, they said, what year do you think this is? They said, what year do you think this is? And you're like, it's 1996. You've been trapped in this game for 20 years. And then it gives a nod to Alan Parrish, because he was in the game before any of the rest of them were. So yeah, Alex, they all, Bethany's falling for Alex, and Spencer and Martha, their relationship is coming together, and we don't know what's going on with Kevin Hart's character. He's just trying to piece everything together, and then they're trying to find this jaguar statue by putting the jewel back in the eye of the jaguar. He says, if you get to the jaguar and you say Jumanji, the game will be over. And so they're making their way through the jungle. They escape all these rhinos. They get this jewel. They lose the jewel because Fridge's character drops the jewel. And so what they do is they create a distraction. They sacrifice their lives because they only got each of them's got 3 lives throughout the entire game. And this is pretty. They all got 3 lives throughout the entire game. Which if I were in Jumanji, I need more than 3 lives because I end up dying. And if you die in the game, you die in real life. It's like a Freddy Krueger game. That'd be pretty cool to play. But anyway, movie's going on, and they made it to the jewel. They end up and what they're doing is there's a string of lights, and they're trying to distract the game. And the game is wanting them to go on the straight ahead, which is trapped with jaguars and all this other stuff. Excuse me. They're distracting them with jaguars and all this other stuff. And they say in the game, when you see the elephant, start climbing. And what that means is, Franklin, since he's a zoologist, he rides this elephant into the to rescue his friends. And they said, when you see the elephant, start climbing. And so what he does is he starts climbing, and then Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is funny in this movie because he becomes scared of a squirrel. He falls down. But anyway, they're all distracting Van Pelt. And Van Pelt's trying to get them throughout the entire game. And all he wants is his jewel back. And she says in the movie that Ruby Roundhouse is played by Ruby Roundhouse. She's like, my weakness is venom. What she does is she steps on a snake. That ends up killing her, ending her life. She had like 1 life left. And they all die like 2 or 3 times. In the game. Kevin Hart's character, Franklin, he eats a piece of pound cake and explodes because cake is his weakness. Let's see. There's a scene in the movie where they're trying to talk out their differences. Franklin and Spencer and Frizz, they're trying to talk out their weaknesses, and then Dwayne "The Rock" Spencer is pushed off the side of a cliff, ending one of his lives. They're trying to get Franklin tries to get the jewel back, ending one of his lives because he gets stampeded by by rhinos. because he can't run very fast. I guess because he's got all that stuff loaded down in his backpack. But anyway, movie's going on. They end up getting to the jewel, and Roundhouse, she steps on a snake. Snake bites her. She ends up losing one of her lives. Spencer, or AKA Dr. Smolder, he ends up rescuing her, and he puts the jewel in the eye of the jaguar, and he's trying to figure out what, and then Bethany, AKA what was that guy's name? The professor. He's like, say his name, say the name, and we can all end the game. And everybody's like, Jumanji, say it, everybody, Jumanji. This one, and then they end up saving the day and end up breaking the curse that was triggered over Jumanji. And in the end, Spencer's, as Dr. Smolder said to Ruby Roundhouse, or Martha, I don't want to end this. Let's live like this. And she says, let's live like this every day, but out there. And so in the end, that Bethany, Fridge, Martha, and Spencer, they're all become friends in the end. Spencer ends up getting the girl in the end of the movie, and ends up getting Martha, and Jumanji is saved. And then they end up destroying the game at the end of the movie, so nobody else would have to get this. Nobody else would have to end up having to play this and go through the same kind of crap that they did. So yeah, anyway, guys, that was Jumanji. A lot of funny scenes in this movie. I mean, a lot of funny scenes. I mean, there was a scene where Martha, where Bethany, because she's Jack Black portrays her in this movie, and let's see, Jack Black portrays her in this movie, and there's a funny scene whenever they're all using the bathroom, she actually has male genitals, and in the movie, and in the game, that's who she is. And then they're using the bathroom and everything, and she's like, okay, how do we do this? And Franklin, he says, okay, here's what you do. You just drop your pants and you just let it go. And he's like, okay, yay, this is awesome. A lot of funny stuff in this movie. And Jack Black was acting like a teenage girl trying to teach Ruby Roundhouse how to flirt so they can get past one of the levels in the game. But yeah, anyway, guys, this was a great movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I know if you're a Jumanji fan, if you're a fan of the original Jumanji, you love it too. So yeah, anyway, guys, go check it out. I am the Review Man. I know I got my computer down here, but I am the Review Man. Like, comment, subscribe, guys, all that good YouTube stuff. And I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.